What comes to mind when you think about Ash's battles? We jumped to great battles like Ash against Kukui, Gary, Paul, and recently against Leon. Part of what makes Ash's battles so exciting is that he's unpredictable. Battles like these are what makes the Pokemon anime worth watching in the first place. But on the contrary, there's an equal number of battles that Ash lost, some for no reason but plot. So that's why in today's video, I'm going to rank the top 5 battles that Ash really should have won. Remember, these are solely my opinions and you can put yours in the comments. Ash against Harrison, an interesting but pretty diminishing battle. Right off the bat, I don't think that Harrison or his introduction is bad in any way. To be honest, I even like the fact that he was the one to introduce Hoenn to Ash with his new cool Pokemon. Where his part in the league gets annoying though, is right after Ash and Gary's battle. In this situation, I feel like the only reason why he was introduced was for Hoenn, rather than being his own character. In my opinion, the battle was pretty lopsided and from the start, you could see that Harrison was easily winning against Ash. Even though Ash was able to use a few of his out-of-the-box strategies against Harrison, he just had the superior Pokemon. But when you consider the achievements of Ash's Pokemon that he chose for the battle, the amount that Harrison won by doesn't really make sense. The worst part of this battle is that it happened right after Ash had one of his biggest accomplishments, like beating Gary. He was beaten pretty badly by someone we haven't heard much of. Let's be honest, the writers were planning Harrison to beat Ash from the second he was introduced. Ash against Richie, a great battle, rushed and robbed from. Similarly to Harrison, Richie was also friends with Ash when the league started. Their friendship was nice and it was cool to see a league rival for the first time. They were there to complement each other throughout the league, and Richie was the only rival left with Ash after Gary lost and left. When it came to time that the two had to face off, both of them were shocked to find out. Later, they agreed to give it their all for the battle and not hold anything back. The most annoying part about this battle is that Ash may have only lost this because of Team Rocket. Before the battle, Team Rocket were trying to catch Pikachu again and Ash had to use a lot of his Pokemon energy to stop them. The worst part about this though is that Team Rocket just wouldn't give up. By the time Ash finally taught them a lesson, he was late for the battle. Because of Team Rocket, all of Ash's Pokemon were tired and not in good shape to battle. Speaking of the battle itself wasn't anything special, and not any better than any other battles in the league. At the end, the thing I hate most is when Ash can only use Charizard, and when he does, Charizard falls asleep. I would say something good about the battle, but I can't find anything at all. Ash against Tyson, one of the worst final matchups in the Pokemon anime's history. Honest opinion, I think Tyson is a bootleg Harrison with nothing behind him to stand for. Most of his Pokemon are pretty bland, with nothing to really stand out with. The battle itself felt short and rushed in a way that after the first matchup, Ash didn't stand a chance. On the other hand, Ash's team and Hoenn could have technically beat Tyson's team by a lot, but tiny plot twists that don't make sense were added to make sure Tyson won. The most obvious and frustrating tweak of these was the cowboy Puss in Boots Meowth. I don't think Tyson was going to win, but the writers had to end the battle with that. It was definitely intentional that the Meowth was for Team Rocket, but the worst part of this is that the Meowth is the Pokemon who knocks out Pikachu and gets the win. I could not think of a more disrespectful way to end Ash's Hoenn League. Ash against Tobias, the very worst way to write Ash's league journey off. Tobias is one of the most annoying league rivals and characters in the Pokemon anime. He had very little introduction and was only known by the guy who had a Darkrai. Because of this, of course he beat the opponent of Ash in the semifinals. This was probably the most rigged battle that Ash has ever had to face. First, he had a Darkrai, one of the strongest Pokemon in the Sinnoh region, that took out 4 of Ash's 6 Pokemon. It was really cool to see Sceptile actually beat Darkrai, which gave us a bit of hope that Ash may not be as gone as we thought. But then he pulled out a Latios. His Latios blew away Sceptile in like one move, but then we had the best matchup of the battle, Pikachu versus Latios. This matchup was really interesting, as it shows that Ash can compete with legendary Pokemon, and if Tobias' Pokemon weren't as broken, Ash probably would have won. Another reason why Ash should have won is that the finalist that faced Tobias couldn't even beat Darkrai, so Ash would have won the league if not for Tobias. Finally, we have Ash against Alon, a great yet controversial battle. This battle was definitely one of the best in the Pokemon anime, except for the fact that Ash lost. Throughout the XY and XYZ series, the writers seemed to be teasing that this was a series that Ash was going to win his very first league. They even teased that when Ash mastered the battle phenomenon, he'd be strong enough to beat Alon's Mega Charizard X. I don't think that Ash vs Sawyer was the main battle of the series, Ash vs Alon was, so why didn't Ash win? Two reasons why Ash lost the battle are that Alon's Bisharp easily took out 2 of Ash's Pokemon, and that Mega Charizard X just wouldn't faint. It didn't really make any sense about how Greninja lost to Charizard. First, Ash Greninja had the effective type advantage. Second, Greninja had the first half of the battle with a rain boost. With my knowledge, I think that Ash would have won the battle if it was his last series, but since it wasn't, plot got in the way. At least the animation was the best for its time. Hey guys, I want to let you know that I have a big collection of videos and a project coming up soon.